My name is Dr. Andrea Ashley.
Okay. And so, okay, so the first question is, okay, so what is your position and the amount of time that you've worked at Prairie View?
Okay, I'm assistant professor as of fall 2018 and have been here about 6 years.
6 years? Okay.
Mhm.
Um, what is your educational background in schools you attended?
Okay, so I have 2 degrees from Prairie View, a bachelor's and a master's in chemistry. I spent 2 years at Texas A&M, but I did not complete. But my final degree is a PhD in environmental toxicology from Texas Southern.
Alrighty. And what is your current specialization and research area?
Like I said, my degree is in environmental science, so most of the projects I work on are environmentally related.
Alrighty. What motivated you to become a scientist?
Actually, my high school chemistry teacher. I was pretty good in chemistry. I always loved chemistry and biology. But he told me there are not that many black women doing chemistry. And just basically went from there.
So that sort of like inspires you,
Yes.
knowing that, okay. Um, what are your highest aspirations for the students that you teach?
To end up with a PhD like myself. And even if they don't do a PhD, some sort of graduate degree at least.
Alrighty. Um, how does your scientific training impact the way that you see the world?
Well, I worked in a lab for a while, and I've seen both sides of what I do. I prefer the academic side because I think it gives me more hands-on uh, approach to influencing the next generation of scientists. I think I'm more comfortable in academia.
All right. What is your ideal dream as a scientist?
Well, I never thought I was going to save the world or anything. I just wanted to do something that would be useful. Um, Never thought I would be teaching. That was the furthest thing from my mind. Actually resisted teaching. But necessity made me try, and I found that's where my true passions are.
Okay. Um, as far as teaching goes, do you think that why do you think it is that most students that major in things like anything in the STEM field don't want to teach?
I guess they don't want to deal with um, people who reflect their own behaviors, maybe. Um, Teaching is not seen as something that's valuable, I think. I came from the Caribbean, so education and teaching were priority. If you're a teacher, you command a certain respect that I don't see here. Um, I remember when we were growing up in high school, before you could enter the classroom, you had to stand up in the presence of your teacher. You can't sit down until they tell you to. So, teaching, I think, is viewed as a more noble profession in other places. And I think it may not be politically correct to say, but I think a lot of people now don't see it as that. It's seen as something you do if you can't succeed in other things.
And do you feel that that has influenced the way that you teach now?
No, I think the way that I teach now is more from the influence that I had growing up. The fact that teaching was viewed as something noble, something, a way of giving back, and a way of taking care of the community in a way, because with more knowledge, people are able to make better decisions and things like that. So it's actually the place where you're able to influence the most, I think. Some would argue that social media does that now, but I still think kids spend most of their time with teachers. So if you have a good teacher, it reflects on the person, if they're willing. you have a bad teacher, it also reflects, because some people tend to run away from that because of the bad experience. But I tend to learn from those things, and I see it more as doing a public good or good for society because of the way I was raised and the respect we were required to show somebody as a teacher.
And if you had to choose out of all the teachers or professors that you had, could you choose a favorite?
It depends. I think I've had several, so it would be really hard to choose. But Mr. Johnson, my high school chemistry teacher, was the one that really turned the lights on to chemistry itself. And then the way he was as a teacher really influenced that. But I've had so many good ones growing up that it's really hard to tell, because I think they all had their own place at different stages of my life. So yeah, I've had many favorites. So I guess I've been very lucky.
Alrighty. And do you have any final words to encourage students?
I just do your best, work hard, don't run away from challenges. Do what you love most of all, because at the end of the day, if you love something, even when it's hard, and chemistry never came easy for me all the time, there were definitely areas that were more challenging than others, but if you love what you do, you'll stick with it regardless. So just find your passion and make that be your guide.
Okay, and do you have anything to say to any students of color that would like to pursue a career in the STEM field?
Probably the same, but one additional thing is, if you come to a school like Prairie View, take advantage of everything that you're given here, because the real world is nothing like this. This is a place to grow up and to appreciate people having time to spend on you as an individual. When you go out there, it's every person for themselves, and there's nobody to show you the ropes. And there are a lot of willing people here that want to do that if you let them.
All right, thank you so much.